Hi, I'm Jane. I'm one of the Women's Health Physiotherapists at myPhysioSA, and I'm here today to talk to you about urgency. So the urge to urinate normally only happens when your bladder is at a certain capacity. Often though, we can get sudden and extreme desires to go to the loo, to use your bladder, all of a sudden without any warning, and that can often cause a lot of people distress and discomfort and have trouble planning their lives around those extreme symptoms. They need to know where a toilet is, they don't know how long they'll be able to manage without having it go into the toilet. The problem is often when you do use your bladder, once you've had this period of this urgency and this extreme desire to use your bladder, you'll go to the toilet and you won't necessarily have a lot to urinate, so there won't be much actually coming out, and then you'll think, well, why did I get this strong urge? So a lot of the time urgency could be a symptom of something going on, such as a urinary tract infection. There might be an irritant something you've drank that irritates the bladder and gives you that sensation, that desire to void. However, a lot of the time women have trouble with urgency for other reasons as well. So the reason I'm going to talk to you about today is something called detrusor overactivity, or a symptom of overactive bladder. So normally the bladder is only ever in two kind of modes at any given time. One is the storage mode, and the other one is a voiding mode, or using your bladder. So during the storage mode, that's most of the time during the day. So the bladder is a storage tank, and it fills up gradually with urine that is produced by your kidneys. And then about 4 to 6 times a day you'll get a desire to use your bladder, which normally you can hold off initially, and then you'll pass the urine that's in the bladder, and then everything will go back to normal and you'll go back into that storage mode again. So at the 4 to 6 times a day, when you get that desire to use your bladder, what tends to happen is your muscle around the bladder wall will contract, and you'll feel that as that urgency to go, and you'll think, oh, okay, I need to go to the toilet now. You can usually hold off a little while, and it might become stronger and stronger as the bladder fills, and then you'll use your bladder. When people experience urgency, sometimes what will happen is the wall of the bladder will contract, which is that smooth muscle, for no good reason. So the bladder's not full enough to contract normally, and this, like I said, could be due to a few different reasons, but sometimes it becomes a bad pattern, almost a bad habit of those muscles and that spinal reflex. Okay, so if you get that urge, that strong urge to go, and you need to go, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, sometimes we need to look at retraining that urge and that urge pathway. So one of the things that you can do is actually think in your mind, hang on, I just went to the toilet, I know my bladder can't be full, and actively turn that switch in your mind. So stop the bladder, because we can override that reflex. Sometimes the urge is too strong that we need to actually employ what we call a bladder calming technique, which is trying to tap into the sacral nerve pathways to help calm them down, so that that urge can subside and give you some time to get to the toilet, or to help relax and let it ease off. So one of the most common techniques is actually to do a strong contraction of your pelvic floor. So that will actually activate the sacral nerves and help to downregulate that reflex of urgency. Another really good technique is to rub the sacrum. So put some pressure over that sacrum, which is the lowest bone down in the spine. So you can tap or you can rub for a few seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, and sometimes that gives you a little bit of a leeway, a little bit of time to plan your next move. Another one is curling your toes in your shoes, and there's certainly plenty more of those strategies. that's all I'll talk about today. If you do need any more information about it, please come and see me or a women's health physio at myPhysioSA, and would be pleased to help you and give you some more information about it. Thank you.